Well, this is at a time when computer graphics were far less developed than they are now. So, we picked a company in LA, a really good company, Rhythm and Use, and they did most of the work on the movie. Ballsmeyer and Everett, Rhythm and Use. It was hard, actually, because a lot of the graphics that people gave us initially I found to be unusable. There's a certain amount of money expended on stuff that I just didn't like. It looked too much like computer graphics, and I wanted something that had more of a human feel to it. And so there's usually a hand-drawn element. Those backgrounds were drawn by my production designer, Ted Bofalukas, and they're really quite beautiful. It was to keep it in an area opposite to what you might expect. It was to make it very human rather than computer graphic oriented. I think that was the main idea. Does that answer the question, or have I failed you?
That's a good start.
You want more. I have failed you. It's not that. Illustrate chance? Well, somehow, and this I would not exactly call one of my most creative moves. I use dice. Hawking has this great line, by the way. There's this famous, Einstein had this enormous suspicion of quantum theory. And his suspicion was based on the fact that he did not like the probabilistic element contained in the theory. And he had this famous line, God does not play dice. But Hawking has a variant on it that I like very, very much. Is not only does God play dice, he often throws them where you can't see them.
That seems like the perfect place to stop.
Let's do one more.
Okay. One more.
Seems less perfect to me.
All right, fine. One more question.
There is no more.
Wait, here, right here.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
It's kind of back to that interviewing him. When you started to make this movie, did you sort of think there were ideas in this book that I wanted to make a movie about? Or did you just think this guy's fascinating and I'm going to talk to him and then figure out from interviewing him, what do I want to make a movie about?
Since I'm going to be answering this question, and it's a question I've already answered already, no, don't be sorry. I just made this movie, Tabloid, okay?
Which is here tomorrow night, 7 o'clock.
Yeah. And people, of course, ask you, why did you make this movie? I usually don't know why. But in that movie, there was a combination of two elements. A sex and chains story and a dog cloning story. So you can see how the two fit perfectly together. I would not have done the movie without both. I needed both the dog cloning and the sex and chains for a feeling of fulfillment. In this instance, I needed both the biography and the science. What struck me as amazing about the book was that he combined the two. I've often hated psychobiography, where people try to explain ideas autobiographically. I mean, there's all kinds of examples of Freud being enlisted to this end. And I've never much liked it. And so then the question is, what in hell are you doing? Why are you trying to explain hawking science in terms of his biography. Well, here's the really great excuse that I had. Hawking does it! The whole goddamn book is that! That's what interested me. It's a combination of A and B. Think of it as the biography was the sex and chains, and the science was the dog cloning. And it worked out perfectly for me. Thank you very much.
Thanks so much.